So, what makes your Dungeons and Dragons character irreplaceable? Unforgettable. It's not how beloved they are in their social life, and it's not the emotional depth of their identity. It's how those things change, how they evolve. I'm Cora Poe, and after years of insomnia and ADD, I've had the downtime to study and ponder many things. So, this is Slumber Myth, a place to put all that insomnia fuel. Welcome back to Slumber Myth's series on how to make an irreplaceable character. Mostly geared towards D&D, but you can use this for any kind of creative writing character building. It's kind of bittersweet, so I'm really glad you're here because this is episode 5, the last episode of the series. So, let's dive right in. Tonight we're going a little bit beyond just the emotions of your character and their choices, and instead are going to be exploring their psychology, the wounds they carry, the choices that define them, and the person that they might one day become because of that. Segment 1. The wound beneath the backstory. A character's past that you create for them is more than just a collection of experiences or events. It's about the wounds that they still carry after enduring those events. Why does your rogue avoid attachment? Why does your paladin clutch so tightly to their code? Beneath every adventurer's story, there's a hidden flaw, a fear, a belief, waiting to be tested and hopefully changed. Take Frodo Baggins. He starts his journey in Lord of the Rings as an innocent hobbit who thinks the world is good. But as the power of the ring wears him down, he sees the corruption spread, and that belief is shattered. His wound isn't just physical from the way the ring makes him sick. It is definitely psychological. And by the end, he's not the same person that left the Shire. Find that flaw in your character, and over the course of the campaign, challenge it, and then challenge it again and again until it breaks. Segment 2. Let the journey change them. Every battle, every betrayal, every impossible choice, it leaves a mark. And what happens when your lawful warrior must break an oath, or when your reckless sorcerer feels fear for the first time? The world doesn't just change for your character thanks to your DM. Your character must change for the world. Look at Neville Longbottom in Harry Potter. He starts as a nervous, bumbling, awkward kid, unsure of himself and constantly doubting his worth. Through hardship, through standing up to enemies and to friends, to himself, he transforms. By the end, he's one of the few leading the charge, proving that his past didn't define him. And frankly, he's a totally underrated character and is 100% my favorite. Segment 3. The people who shape us. We are never just who we think we are. We are also who we are in the eyes of others. And your character doesn't grow alone. There are friendships that soften them, or enemies that harden them, rivals that push them, and betrayals that force them to look in the mirror. To cap off this series with the same ongoing example, think about the popular anime My Hero Academia. Bakugo starts out as an angry, prideful rival to Deku, and he's always lashing out and needing to prove that he's the strongest. But over time, through losses, through forced self-reflection, through learning from all around him, he really starts to realize that true strength isn't just about power. It's about responsibility, and that really changes him. So your character's arc isn't just written in their actions. It's written in the way that they love. It's written in the way they hate and the way they change because of someone else. Segment 4. The moment of truth. Every story has a turning point, And every character in every story has their own turning point where they have to turn around and ask themselves, who am I now? Think about Zuko from the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender. His entire life he believed that his honor depended upon capturing the Avatar. But when the moment finally comes, he's forced to choose between betraying everything he was raised to believe and stepping into the unknown. The less expected choice, and it changes him forever. This is where true evolution happens. Not when they level up, not when they make a choice that they typically would. It's when they make a choice that they typically wouldn't about something that's very important to them. A choice they never would have made before. Segment 5, Show, Don't Tell. Character growth isn't just about what they say, it's what they do. The fighter who once led the charge now hesitates before striking. The warlock who mocked all religion now, in a time of need, lingers outside of a temple. The bard who's always laughing suddenly goes silent when someone speaks of home. You won't have to spell it out. Your party will know. And that's what will make it real. Roleplay the shit out of that. Segment 6, Application for Creation. And I just want to say again, to reiterate, the story is in the struggle. Let them break. Make them break. And then let them rebuild. Discover with each new circumstance who they're going to be now. We're going to stray a little bit from the typical function of this section, and instead of answering questions on behalf of our characters, we're going to identify what questions they will ask themselves inevitably as they run into issues with their own flaws throughout the campaign. What questions will they be asking themselves when their flaws get in the way or their core beliefs are challenged? And these questions are not meant to be answered now. They're meant to be safely stored away as hypotheticals that you can have in your mind so that when the time arises, your character will be prepared for a profound moment of introspection. Here's some that I've thought of for Etoile, my College of Eloquence emo bard, who is a tiefling born of high elves. For her, I think a good question would be when they have someone they care about do something that hurts them, what will it take for them to react in a way that's out of the ordinary? Like, where is her breaking point in terms of betrayal and forgiveness? What standards does your character have for themselves in terms of taking abuse from others, physical or emotional or otherwise? What magnitude of heartache would they be forced to experience before the way they react to that heartache is altered forever? Out of all their core beliefs, which ones are the most fragile, the most likely to make them very upset, but then also change? What is your character in denial about, and what will it take for them to have to face it head on? How will they change when a party mate inevitably dies in the campaign? These questions, and others like them, will be helpful throughout the campaign as psyche-altering circumstances come to pass. Use them to guide your character through those moments, and even in role-playing, consider saying them aloud so that the rest of your group can hear it like an inner monologue. What other questions can you think of that you think the answers of which eventually will make your character evolve? I mean, the possibilities are endless, so please be as specific and or creative and niche as you want, and please leave whatever questions you come up with in the comments so that we can all benefit from each other's. Segment 7. Conclusion. This is how legends are made. Not really in power, but in change. So go forth and evolve. Take everything that we've learned, that we've created about our irreplaceable characters in this series, and turn it inside out. If you've had many characters in the past, who's been your most evolved character in the game? please share their story in the comments. I would love to read them. Well, you little sleepwalkers, that is the cherry on top of creating an irreplaceable character. A character that, over time, replaces themselves with a wiser, stronger version. Happy nightmares.